Today we're in Lincolnshire and we're going to a place called Harlaxton Manor, and this place was built during the 1830s and the 1840s, and I've been meaning to come here for quite a few years, and I noticed recently that it was open for a few days over Christmas, so I've took the opportunity to come and have a look. And it's built in a few styles. It's built in Elizabethan, Jacobean and Baroque. So I'm looking forward to this. It should be quite interesting. So we should be there shortly. I think we're approaching the place now. Pretty grand again. Wow. What a view. Should be coming into view shortly. Now this drive is straight and it's about a mile long. We should shortly be coming to a bridge that we'll go over, and I believe that's by Anthony Salvin, and that's a bridge over a lake. And Salvin was largely responsible for the design of this place, the first phase especially, and basically the main outline. Yeah, so this is the bridge we're going over the lake now. And then we'll come to quite a grand sort of gatehouse. And that one I believe is in sort of a Tudor revival style by Anthony Salvin as well. As you can see, it's quite a dramatic entrance to this place. Very grand. And I believe this big wall to the left, that's where there's a kitchen garden the other side. Then I believe this is Salvin's gatehouse. This is sort of the outer gatehouse. Might have a walk down here in a bit. Well, a bit later on, have a closer look possibly. As you can see, it's quite a sensational place, this is. We'll be coming up to the front facade shortly.
In 200 yards, your destination will be on the right.
Okay. Look at that. Here this guy will tell us where to go and park. So this inner sort of gatehouse, apparently this was by someone called William Byrne, who came here after Anthony Salvin and did some work. Morning. You alright? Which way to park? That way. Thank you. So this is Harlaxton Manor, and this was started in 1832, and the main bulk of it was done by 1837, and this was designed by the celebrated architect Anthony Salvin. However, after around 1837, the Scottish architect William Byrne came along to finish off the last bits and pieces of it and to introduce a new wing and stuff like that. And those bits were completed by around 1844. And this place was built for someone called Gregory. And you did hear that right, someone with two of the same name, Gregory. And the place is actually built using Ancaster stone from local quarries that were actually owned by Gregory. This Ancaster stone has also been used on the likes of Windsor Castle and Belton House and many other old country houses and historic buildings. And during the First World War, the estate was actually used for military training and became the home of the Machine Gun Corps, who practised in Harlaxton Park, while the RAF opened a training aerodrome nearby in 1916. After Gregory left the place, it actually passed through quite a few hands until around 1937, when it was bought by a flamboyant lady called Violet van der Elst. And she'd made her fortune in beauty products and marrying into well-off families and stuff like that. And it was actually van der Elst who installed electricity and bathrooms and again collected treasures in that time to furnish the house and gardens and stuff. And then in 1959, van der Elst sold the manor and she returned to her flat in London and eventually ended up in an asylum where she died forgotten in 1966. And following that, in 1971, the University of Evansville in Indiana took over the lease, and they now own the place, and this is a campus for American students. And on the top, at the top of the front facade there, it's actually dated 1837, and that's about the time that Anthony Salvin had finished this part of the house. You also might be able to see the name Gregory in stone just below the two flags up there. Now this vase here, with classical figures on and stuff, this is actually a copy of the Medici vase. Here we can go up the stairs. And that chandelier up there, that was introduced by van der Elst in the 1930s or 40s. And just look at the elaborate ceiling up there. What a place. Just totally elaborate architecture everywhere. This is the Great Hall. Again, spectacular. The large oriel window here is from 1837, and that's by Thomas Willimant. And he also produced glass for the likes of Alton Towers and similar places like that. And above the fireplace here, that's the Gregory coat of arms. Mrs. van der Elst also purchased this Belgian crystal chandelier, and that was in the 1900s after she got a good deal for it. And this really is a recreation of an Elizabethan Great Hall. This is the cedar staircase hall, I believe.
You have to have a special permission. There's a lot of dust in there.
This is actually said to be one of the most remarkable staircase halls in England. And if we look right at the top, there are two figures of Father Time, and if I zoom in a little bit, the one on this side is actually holding a plan of Harlaxton Manor. Now the woodwork, it's all cedar, obviously, and records show that it was actually made in the nearby village. And I believe this is in the Italian Baroque style. So this is the anteroom, and this is French in style. And if we have a look at the ceiling, which is nicely brightly painted, this originally would have been white, but it was redecorated during 1986, and that's when the colour was added. And if you can see in the fire back, there's actually a GG in there standing for Gregory. And if you look at this door furniture, this is by a firm called Gibbons of Wolverhampton. If we come back through the staircase hall, this leads us into the gold room. And if you look at the ceiling, that actually depicts ladies playing musical instruments. This room was formerly used as a drawing room, music room and somewhere for the ladies to retreat to. Just look at all the elaborate detailing. As you can see here, this would lead into the conservatory. What's also interesting is this effect here of, in plaster, what looks like curtains or drapery coming down where the cherubs are. But yeah, that's actually plaster work. And if you look at this corner of the ceiling, you can actually see a cheeky little cherub putting his foot over the edge as if he was about to drop into the room. There's another nice fireplace. This is the long gallery. Ceilings painted with clouds. This again is in the French style, and this would have originally housed Gregory's library, picture and tapestry collection. You can just about see the hooks up there still in the centre of the picture where tapestries would have hung from. If we go to this end of the gallery, you can see out the front of the house. And all the windows in here, they actually have sliding shutters, as you can see here. It will come straight out, right across. And the purpose of the Lung Gallery really is it was a multifunction room, so you could entertain in here, or when the weather was bad you could even get a bit of exercise or whatever. And that's the side of the house. And then from this end of the gallery it would again lead into the conservatory. Back to the staircase hall again now. I think we're going to go downstairs a little bit. Somewhere to store your goods.
Yes, I remember it got warmer.
As you can see, some bits and pieces about the college, or part of the university who runs the place now. So this downstairs area obviously would have been an area for staff and housekeeping and stuff like that. So this looks like it's the students' music room down here. Alright, I think we're going to go back up now and I'm going to go and explore the gardens. Before we go, this is the state dining room with a Jacobean ceiling. Being used as a cafe today by the looks of it.
That was brilliant. I came in under the suit. Yes.
Thank you. And here we are in the conservatory. A bit cooler out here, which is nice. Nice little pool here at the end. If you look at these cast iron grills on the floor, you can actually see the hot water pipes that would have provided heat in the winter for the conservatory. And there's lots of these dotted all around the conservatory, these grills. There's actually 5 sort of compartments to this conservatory. It's one of the nicest ones I've seen actually. So here we go, look. More pipes under the grills for the heating. And over this side of this compartment, you can actually still see the pulley system that would have been used for opening the windows and stuff. So there's your ropes and pulleys at the top. If we zoom in a little bit, can see the mechanisms up there. And this is the entrance to the gold room, going back into the house. As you can see, even in the conservatory they're using marble. Right, so let's go outside and have a little explore. So the conservatory here was added in the 1840s by William Byrne. And that was after Anthony Salvin had finished his work here. However, by the 1970s, the conservatory had fallen into some sort of disrepair. But in 1977, a restoration project was started, and that was actually finished around 1980. And at that point, Kew Gardens in London actually donated a load of plants and flowers. It's quite a decent size. And then that brings you round to the rear of the house. So I'm still behind the house and I'm on what's known as the Lion Terrace now. And I'll be going down to the bottom bit of this terrace in a second. But I just thought it was worth showing a view from up here. And it's called the Lion Terrace because there's a pair of lions down there, and we'll go down there in a second. These lions were actually brought here from Clumber Park in Nottinghamshire. These were purchased by Mrs. van der Elst, and they actually originate from the 18th century, these do. And there's one on each side, as you can see. There's also this fountain in the middle of the area. And then some sort of altar behind. And these characters up here seem to be supporting the structure above. And then we have a sort of grotto at the back. Here's a bit of that Ancaster stone that's broken off somewhere around the lion terrace. And interestingly, instead of keep buying the stone from the quarry, Gregory actually bought the quarry because it was cheaper to do it that way, by owning the whole lot instead of keep buying the stone. Heading around to the other side of the house, there's a sort of wisteria covered little resting spot, I suppose. And it's quite easy to miss as you're walking past, actually. Quite interesting columns there. So that would have been a nice area to relax in. That's the lion garden again. Bit of a wider view. A little bit of topiary here. Now coming round to this side of the house, I think this sort of wing over here and the little bit beyond was by William Byrne after he turned up after Anthony Salvin. And if you see that brick structure, the red brick in the distance, that's quite interesting, and I'm just going to pop round there. Right, so as I walk up this embankment, if you see this structure in front and then leading round to the left, that red brick as I mentioned, and you can see it meets the house, that's actually an enclosed railway in there. And what that was used for was to bring coal and other goods into the house along a little railway inside. So that is very interesting. So what they would do is the coal would be sort of pushed along in the little carriages and meet the side of the house, and then the coal and other bits would be dropped into the different areas of the house for where they were needed and whatnot. So this is the other end of it. You can just see there's a little door going into it there. I'll pop around the other side. Yeah, you can't really see much else from the other side without going through a lock gate, so I'm obviously not going to do that. But yeah, it's a very interesting feature, I thought. But yeah, you can see here how it curves and turns towards the house. And the little railway carriages would have been inside there. And then the coal taken into the house. It's raining a bit now, but we're going to head over to the other side of the house now and have a little look at the Italian garden. Before we get to the Italian garden, actually, we're going to have a look at this sort of Dutch garden. Incidentally, if you look at the top right, you can see the cedar of Lebanon trees. So here we go, let's have a look up these steps. It's a nice statue at the top to catch your eye as you're walking up the steps. And behind the statue, got this canal. Now the statue actually dates from between 1948 and 1966, when the Jesuits occupied the manor, and apparently that's their patron saint on there. But the pedestal below, I believe that actually dates from Gregory's time in the mid 19th century or early 19th century. And if we go past the statue, we'll be heading towards the Italian garden now. One of the most interesting bits of this Italian garden is this two-storey gazebo here on the left. And this was also probably by William Byrne. We'll have a little look at this. Yeah, so there probably would have been a statue on here or something. From inside here there's a little bit of a view of some parts of the house and estate. It's quite stunning really. So we'll go up the steps now and have a little bit of a look at the interior of the Italian garden. To the right up there, see there's a pergola there, and then there's a second one just along. A little fountain here with a lion's head. And then this is the top story of that gazebo that we just looked at. I expect it'll probably be locked for safety reasons or something. Yep. So that's the little Italian garden. And just off to the side of the Italian garden there's this little bust at the end. Little horned figure playing music. Let's go back down. And now we'll head to the left which I believe is the lower terrace. And as you'll see in a second, this terrace also has a gazebo, but not one. There's another one over this side. These gazebos, these were also probably by Burn. And if you look here, there's also some stone benches. I think there's 12 in total. Just going around the outside of the terrace. And at this end of the terrace there's some quite attractive iron gates. Leading out into parkland. There's one of the gazebos. There's some more attractive iron gates at the other end of that walk, heading towards the front of the house. Nice statue of a child and a dog up there. Then here's the other gazebo. And these are actually grade 1 listed, so they're quite special. There's no access to those currently. They're probably a bit dangerous inside. Just beyond there in the distance you can probably see the main driveway leading its way up the hill. Let's try and zoom in a little bit. Decent view of the gatehouses near to the front of the house here. Some lions feasting on some poor animals on the top there. So that's most of the interesting bits of the gardens covered. And I'll go back through the house now and come back out. And I might have a look at that gatehouse further down the drive if possible. Back through the conservatory. Nice bits of marble frame in the door there. Through the long gallery again. It's a bit quieter in here now. Through the staircase hall. Great hall. Back down the stairs. Yeah. This is back through the entrance hall down here. Here's one of those gatehouses near the front of the house, probably by Burn. Impressive gates here. Just come for a little closer look at this outer gatehouse, which is about halfway up the drive. And apparently this would have been by Salvin, so this would have been 1830s sort of date. And you'll see the house right at the top of the drive up there. So that was Harlaxton Manor then. What a place. Yeah, I'd thoroughly recommend a visit here if you get a chance. I believe they're opening for a few days in the summer, so if you wanted to come and have a look, it's probably worth taking your chance in the summer. So yeah, thanks for watching as usual, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.